Welcome back. This is an off-grid system. It's got a Victron and some deep cycle lead acid batteries, just not doing its job. So I'm going to swap it out for a new system. Wait there a sec. That's better. Welcome back to this job. It's a fully off-grid system. Currently has a generator with a Victron and some lead acid deep cycle batteries. It's not doing what the customer wants it to do. So this week I'm putting a new system in behind me, some lithium batteries, two 5 kilowatt off-grid inverters, and we're going to hook that back up and get that to interact with this system. Let's get into it. So I am still about 1.5 miles out from this job on this single track road, midges everywhere. But these behind me, these are 15th century houses. So this is what is left of a property, and this is how it would have started out as. But yeah, we are in the middle of nowhere. It's always daunting starting a new project, especially one like this. Trying to figure out what the current setup is, what we're adding to it, and how it can be improved upon. This is the schematic that was sent over to me. Bit of a basic drawing if you ask me. But importantly, the generator connects into the distribution board as well as the inverters. I'd have thought the generator was on its standalone board. Nevertheless, I did my own SLD. Pinged it over to the designer, and that's when he come back and said, no, I want the generator on its own board. So he sent me an even better design. Look at that. Sure, that was done on Word. But I'm going to put the generator into its own distribution board, a load board with the supply for the house, which is currently on a 16mm twin and earth all the way through. I'm going to start poking around and have a look what's knocking on. Knocking on, oh my word. Look, it's not going to win any awards for Joinery Stud Waller of the Year, but I've got a secret weapon. Anchor resin. Pump that in there, get me raw bolts through, hang that, board it. Job should be a good one. See if it works. I'm not known for my measuring capabilities. Nevertheless, I'm going to try and get this OSB on the wall, see if it fits first time. As we established earlier, nothing on this property is straight, which I don't know if it helps me or hinders me with my ability to get things straight. That's one bit done. Let's get it in. Time to get the inverters on. Let's have a look where we go. The trick is to try and figure it all out before you install it, otherwise you look at it and go, oh, why didn't I do that before? Which is always the case with me. So I've gone all the way over to here and cut around the beam because the homeowners wanted it as close to this board as possible. Otherwise I probably could have just come straight down there and it would give me a little bit more board space to work with, but hey ho. So That's the inverters on. Whew. Let's get wiring it up. So positive buzz bar, negative buzz bar, isolator, another isolator, 4-pole DC isolator, 4-pole DC, brill. What's that? What is this bad boy? This is going to be the screen, an E4 I think it's called. Yeah, there's the controls. 70mm cable, circuit breakers, that's it. Let's get it all mounted. Back on site this morning, nice and quiet, generators off, Victron units off, batteries off, bliss. I'm going to set my controller up here just on some cable so I can test it. Buzz bar for the battery system is done, second one to do. And then just on here, this is where I'm going to be swapping over the fuse board. I'll be honest, this has kept me awake most of the night. If this goes wrong or doesn't work, I'm going to have a mass amount of egg on my face. But I'm feeling confident. I think I can do it. The instructions are as clear as mud. The string line diagram I've been given from the supplier is done on Word. We're in the middle of nowhere and the nearest wholesaler is a couple of hours away. What's the worst that can happen? So yeah, we've got two common rail heavy duty buzz bars for the batteries to go onto. They then go into an electronic 125 amp fuse, and they've also got their own built-in fuse protection. I'm going to get all this terminated and then I'll show you the AC side. My board's on. I'm going to use it as a dual supply. There's parts of this where I'm very confident, mainly obviously the electrical side. The bit where I'm not confident is the product knowledge of this system. So you could actually be watching my demise, my downfall, and we don't even know what's happening. I feel like, especially when you go off grid and you're adding inverters into the mix, there's a lot more things that could potentially go wrong. If I can get this generator supply terminated, that's one of the issues done, because we can always get the property back on the generator, and I know these are going to work, so we can get these on. It's just a changeover between getting the automatic stop start on the generator. That's the concern. I'm that stressed out. I've known I'm taking braces out while I'm drinking coffee. Ugh. I know it doesn't look like it, but I think we might be ready to switch on. I've got the E4 display here just so I can try and commission it. Then I'm going to route it over there. I think we should be able to get it up and running. Generator AC/DC is done. Make sure the battery and PB breaker are off. That's definitely off. Turn on the circuit breaker between the battery and the Rio Sun. There goes. Circuit breaker's on. Circuit breaker's on. On/off button on the inverter. What's that then? There we are. Is that it? It's making a noise. Oh God. Battery's at 15 degrees, 31 degrees, so that's warmer. That's going to power to that. That's going to power to that. Don't want the house on yet. As you can probably hear behind me, the system is up and running. A few things to tidy up and label. I didn't show it you up and running, mainly because I was having an absolute mare. It turns out it's my inability to read instructions, so as clear as mud, it says how to power and turn on. Step 1, turn on the breakers, done. Step 2, turn on the battery, done. Step 3, press the on/off button underneath for 2 seconds to turn the inverter onto standby mode. So I did that and I set up all the parameters and nothing worked. I was thinking this is a nightmare, so I went back, reread the instructions. Step 3, press the on/off button for 2 seconds to turn on the inverter mode. I was like, right, I've done that, it's not working. I didn't read step 4 or 5. So step 4 says, wait in the standby mode for 30 seconds and then press the on/off button again for 1 second. This will set the inverter to inverting. So in a nutshell, I didn't turn it on and I was flapping. But yeah, it's all on now. it's producing. The generator works in harmony with it. So when we switch the generator on, that works, charges the battery. There is solar at the minute, so I managed to get them connected. 1.6 kilowatts on that, 865 watts on that. So about 2.2 kilowatts going to this from the array. So the batteries are topping up nicely. That's now at 50 volts and 31%. That's now at 50 volts and 31% as well. So they're actually balancing out as well, which is what we want to see happen. I will at some point switch the generator back on so that it can calibrate and charge the batteries and get them up to full before I go. I'm going to have a little play about with the E4 screen, because actually maybe I just didn't read the instructions properly before on that as well. And then work out our old friend, the stop-start relay. Day 3, back on site. I was up till nearly 1 AM last night. I need to get that E4 display working. For whatever reason, it's not working up. So I can do more settings on the E4, I believe. I'm struggling a little bit with it. Internet out here is almost non-existent. There is some in the house, but obviously we're in a bit of a barn on the end, made of solid stone. So getting internet's quite difficult. First thing, I'm going to change some parameters. It's running on batteries and solar, it's working fantastic. It's just not seeing the generator as a generator. I think it's seeing it as a grid supply, not being able to sort of match in with that. And we're getting these sort of harmonics on the voltage and the frequency where the lights are sort of flickering and pulsating. So I need to get that sorted out as well. Let's go inside and see what we can do. So the inverters are actually working right now. PV is producing more than what I thought it would be doing. Batteries are charging. I just need to get these little internet-y things connected, the E4 display connected, and get rid of these 2 little fault codes. Let me get on with that and I'll join you soon. I've managed to get the system working on an app. I still need to connect to the internet. This is just a Bluetooth connection. You can see we've got the load, we've got the battery, generator, which isn't on at the minute. I'm going to ping the generator on and see what happens to this. So that's the generator on. It is showing up on the inverters, which is odd. Don't know if there's a lag, but it's not doing much. So we can see now it's taken from the generator, it's powering the loads, it's doing the battery. The light seems to be a little bit more stable. So that looks like it's working. I just need to get it connected to the internet, get the E4 display, and tidy up some of these cables. I don't want to get too giddy just yet, but I've got the load and I've got the solar. I think if I can connect these other cables, I might have a chance of getting this thing working. So I'm making a little bit of progress with the screen. As fast as I'm solving one problem, I'm sort of finding another. I can get the screen to work, can't get it to stay on, but I think I can get the generator to start manually off of the screen, which means it will start automatically on low voltage. Let's trigger the generator on. There we go. So that seems to be doing its job. I just need to get it onto the internet. I think I'm making progress. Look at that for a backdrop. Unreal, we are in the middle of nowhere. So this job has been a labour of love and a bit of a learning curve. But both of these inverters now are up, running, generating, working. Both the batteries are working. The solar's going like crazy and these are nearly at 100%. The generator's connected on the auto startup and the E4 controller we managed to put in the house so the customer can see what's going on. By all accounts, it's been a long few days, but we're there and this property's going to stay off grid for the foreseeable. That is me fully done on this project. The lads did a top job on the roof. The panels are wired in 3 in parallel, like I mentioned before. Batteries are nearly 100%. The generator's set up with a stop-start, and this whole place in the middle of nowhere is completely off grid.